You might want to keep the lights on for this one. 5 chilling encounters, 5 ordinary places caught on camera at night, and each one harder to explain than the last. Watch them at home, alone if you must, but not as a dare to go looking in the dark. If you have footage of your own, send it to email. You might want to keep the lights on for this one. 5 chilling encounters, 5 ordinary places caught on camera at night, and each one harder to explain than the last. Watch them at home, alone if you must, but not as a dare to go looking in the dark. If you have footage of your own, send it to email. Theater, a London playhouse with a rumor that won't die. The security cam is grainy, the house lights long off. At first, it looks like any empty backstage. Ropes, costumes, a row of mannequin heads used for wigs. Then the camera picks up a door that swings shut with a sudden metal clack. Not the slow close of a breeze. This is abrupt, a door slamming as if by a hand. A mannequin head teeters and topples, rolling once, then another falls. You hear small thumps against wood, the echo dragging across empty aisles. For a few seconds the camera shakes as if from a vibration, then returns to the still mannequins, one turned oddly toward the doorway. Some viewers suggest the theater's old legend, the spirit of a Russian dancer who died backstage, might be restless. Others point to simpler forces, a draft through the stage wings, a loose rigging cable, or staff moving props off camera. It could be prankers testing the actions. But listen to the timing. The door, the head, the cascade of small collapses. Sequence and rhythm that look deliberate, not random. The footage doesn't prove a post, but it makes you question what causes those specific, unnerving beats in the dark. If that felt eerie, hold tight. This isn't the strangest thing yet. A faint figure stands near the bottom of the frame, more suggestion than person, shape, shadow, the suggestion of shoulders. Then, unnervingly, it appears to wobble, not walk, more like the outline melts. The figure stretches downward as if sinking into the ground, its edges blurring and elongating, before vanishing into the pavement in a way that looks almost digital and almost impossible. Online, people compared it to nightmare creatures in movies. Others called it a compression glitch or a lens flare warping a passing shadow. Small insects close to an IR camera can create strange silhouettes. Ring cams compress and smooth pixels in low light, producing artifacts that the eye interprets as movement. Still, the footage resists easy dismissal because the motion doesn't match how a human body moves. There's no step, no shift of weight, only an uncanny deformation, a visual behavior that sits outside ordinary expectation. Believer or skeptic, you can't help asking what rules were bent in that single strange second. If odd pixels and phantom silhouettes are getting under your skin, things escalate for this next family. 4. Shed and barn. The unnamed couple who filmed their home disturbances started with small things, an attic hatch that would swing open at night, a soft banging that had no obvious source. Then the noises grew bolder. The husband trails the beam of his flashlight across the yard, heart obviously racing, as the camera captures the outer shed door swinging as if pushed from inside. He moves closer, and a dark shape darts into the barn and disappears. Later footage, shot from a distance, shows a figure perched near a loft window, long, unreadable form with something across its face that absorbs light so badly it registers as a void. Fabric flutters in a breeze that doesn't touch nearby trees. The couple's voices, low and urgent on the tape, make the fear feel real and unmeasured. Reasonable explanations exist. A trespasser hiding, an animal on two legs reading oddly in low light, a coat thrown over beams, camera exposure making fabric look like skin. A loose tarp or a hanging blanket can create the illusion of movement and depth where there is none. But there's a rawness here, the way the couple pauses between breaths, the way the camera lingers on a black face that seems to drink daylight, that turns theory into a question that sits heavy. Whoever or whatever was up there, why did it look like light failed to return from its eyes? If that image didn't make the hairs on your neck stand up, maybe the last one will stay with you longer. 5. Orbs and the living room shadow. Big Dave's uploads begin ordinary, security cam of the yard, kids playing earlier in the footage, but later clips show round, luminous orbs drifting horizontally across the frame at odd speeds. They wobble, split, and rejoin, tracing paths that don't match the noise of bugs or the scatter of dust in a single light source.
Then, in a follow-up interior shot, something darker moves behind a couch, a thin silhouette at the edge of the doorway, then gone. Comments say the family stopped posting after that night. Whether that's coincidence, embarrassment, or something else, the sudden silence compounds the unease. Many investigators point to dust, insects, and lens reflections, small particles catching IR light, camera autofocus, or a slow shutter creating orbs that the eye reads as solid. Indoor shadows can be caused by passing cars, curtains, toys, or someone outside the frame. Yet when a home that felt lived in and safe becomes a set of flickers and questions, the footage leaves behind an emotional residue, the sense that a family's ordinary life was unexpectedly interrupted and then withdrawn from public view. So what do we make of all this? Each clip presents at least one plausible mundane cause: drafts, reflection, compression, animals, dust. Yet each also contains an element that resists full explanation: timing, behavior, or visual properties that don't line up neatly with what we expect cameras to capture. We can list the technical reasons and still feel unsettled by the footage. That gap between the explanation we can assemble and the image that stays in your head creates the real chill. A quick reminder before we close: these videos are meant to be watched from the safety of your home, not as an instruction to visit, trespass, or investigate locations alone at night. Curiosity doesn't justify putting yourself at risk. If you want more mysteries like these, like and subscribe, and tell us in the comments which clip kept you up at night. Which one do you think was real?